Hey guys, this is the Squatch Ranger. I haven't come to you guys in a while. I am at Heyburn Lake today. I'm going to meet up with Brian Terrell of the Red Dirt Cryptids. He's also recently joined NOBRO, the Native Oklahoma Bigfoot Research Organization. He represents our Northwest District of Oklahoma. Anyway, I'm going to meet up with him, join forces with him today. And we're going to check out Heyburn Lake. He has an eyewitness that's going to join us. And from my understanding, we're going to go out on a boat on the water and go back to a spot where this eyewitness believes he thinks the Bigfoot or the Sasquatch are living or hiding out. So right behind me is Shepherd's Point. It's about 50 degrees. It's probably about 8:15 this morning. And anyway, it's spring break. Brian and I both are kind of in the teaching profession, so we have a few days off this week for spring break, so we thought, hey, let's go on a hike today. A few of our members from NOBRO, they had a hike at Stinchcomb Wildlife Management Area in the Oklahoma City area. Some of our Central Oklahoma members organized that. They had a great hike the other day. I wasn't able to go on that. My daughter had a softball tournament, which I had to go to. They sent me some pictures, and I plan on doing a video showing you their evidence, and I'll do a later video on that. But right now I'm at Heyburn Lake, ready to go on a hike, ready to go get out on the water. Okay, so here is the cast that we casted about a year ago, coming up on a year ago in April. We did a camp out right over there at Shepherd's Point, right across the water over there. Anyway, I spotted the track, Brian casted it. Didn't turn out a lot of detail. I mean, we don't really have any detail in this, but what we do have is a size. So here's my size 10.5 men's shoe for reference, and then you can see it's a little bit wider than my shoe. So this was someone's bare footprint, or it was a boot. So it could be somebody's boot, but we were impressed with the width. So anyway, if anything, we practiced casting a track. So it's always good to practice, get some experience. So here's how it turned out. It was a lot of fun. That was a good camp out. By the way, I do have a YouTube video of that. It's called The Sasquatch Storm of Heyburn Lake on my Squatch Ranger YouTube channel. Go back and we met up with our eyewitness. It was chilly out on the water at first, but we were prepared, and we did bring jackets. Our eyewitness started to give us a tour of the lake, and we started to head back towards the spot of his encounter where he heard interesting sounds. Right here is where a different eyewitness, a fisherman, heard monkey noises coming across the water. Similarly, Ryan, our eyewitness's son, heard wood knocks coming from the same area.
It would go. I mean, it never went away from us, never got ahead of us.
Looks like there's about a 20-foot cliff right there.
There's a good rock cliff all along that edge right there.
Yeah.
And it may not be a bad place to go look. I mean, if you want to.
Well, we'd have to climb that.
Well,
Not a good place to pull up.
we go on down here where it's a little leveler.
Yeah.
But that would be a good hiding place, I'd say.
How long do you think it followed you?
Oh, we was out here 45 minutes.
What was it doing? Breaking branches?
Just leaves. It was something trying to walk quiet. And it was, I say,
too big
steps.
to walk quiet.
Yeah, it was too big. It was like me trying to walk through there and be quiet.
Yeah.
You know, you're being quiet, but you're not.
Well, and if it was winter time, there was probably a lot of dead leaves on the
It
ground.
was December 28th, and everything is dead just like it is right now. It was in the 60s that day.
Right.
It was the last day we had before it got cold. Snow.
We finally made it to the area where the eyewitness had his encounter and heard interesting sounds. We found a place to safely park the boat. Then we went on our hike and looked for signs of Sasquatch. Right down here is where our eyewitness heard something very heavy walking through the brush as they were on their boat. So we're on location. I'm going to do a wood knock. Haven't done this in a while, using the claves. We'll stay quiet, listen for a few minutes. Want to do a single or a double?
Double.
All right.
In the morning, and his house wasn't real close, so it was going to be easy to sneak down there. And we was getting close, we was being pretty quiet, and all of a sudden again, man, a huge splash. I mean, it was like a huge rock got thrown in. All right, we stopped, and we're just sitting real still, we're listening, and about 3 minutes later, another huge splash.
Continued up the creek, scanning the banks for more signs of Sasquatch or interesting areas to check out. We were on our way to a fork in the creek. It was at this fork where we saw some very tall cliffs and thought this would be a great hideout for a Sasquatch. We didn't climb the cliffs, but we did cut the boat engine, and I did a couple of wood knocks, and this is the spot where we actually heard what sounded like a man screaming in the distance. It was the perfect morning to go up the creek on the boat. The weather was absolutely gorgeous. We went as far as we could up the creek before we were forced to turn around. Brian and I broke for lunch and had a couple of visitors. Then we went to a different location and went on a short hike. What we found was a homemade blind made by a hunter. We also saw very many signs of wild hog. We decided to stop the hike and part our ways, but the only monster we found that day was the pink monster of Heyburn Lake.